Have you ever noticed how the most powerful moments in your life often come from the quietest whispers, not the loudest shouts? Imagine this. The entire world is on mute, and in that silence, you find the strength you never knew you had. It sounds like a paradox, doesn't it? In our constantly connected world, bombarded by notifications, where every moment is filled with noise, the idea of silence as a source of power seems almost revolutionary. Yet, here lies a profound truth many overlook. Silence can be your loudest cry for attention, your strongest form of expression, and sometimes the most impactful way to change your world. Today, we're going to explore how embracing silence can transform not just the way others see you, but how you see yourself. Stay with me as we dive into the untold power of staying quiet and why, in a world obsessed with the next big sound, silence could be your secret weapon. And before we embark on this journey of discovery, make sure you hit that subscribe button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, drop a like if you're ready for a different perspective, and remember, watch through to the end without skipping, because every moment of silence we're about to share holds the key to unlocking a part of you that's been waiting to be heard. Number 1. Let's take a moment and really think about why we often feel compelled to fill every silence, to respond to every comment, to have the last word in every argument. It's like we're on this perpetual quest to prove our worth, to make our mark, and to ensure we're not overlooked in the cacophony of voices all clamoring to be heard. But here's the thing, and it's something that might surprise you, especially in today's world, where being loud and being heard seems to be valued above all else. The Stoics, those ancient philosophers we turn to for wisdom on living a good life, they had this figured out centuries ago. They understood the immense power of silence, the strength it takes to hold your tongue, and the wisdom in not reacting to every provocation. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And isn't that just profoundly applicable here? When we rush to speak, to fill the silence, aren't we often reacting to something outside of us, something we ultimately have no control over? Think about it. In our daily interactions, online and off, how often do we speak just to prove we can, to assert our dominance, or to simply ensure our voice is heard among many? We fear that silence might make us seem weak, uninformed, or indifferent. But what if I told you that it's actually in silence that we can find our greatest strength and clarity? That by choosing not to engage in every argument, not to have a comment on every issue, we're not showing weakness but a profound strength of character. This is where the Stoic concept really anchors into our discussion. Stoicism teaches us the value of controlling our reactions, of understanding what is within our power and what isn't. And while we might not be able to control the actions or words of others, we have absolute control over our response, or our choice not to respond at all. By embracing silence, we're not just avoiding unnecessary conflict, we're also giving ourselves the space to listen, to reflect, and to respond with intention when we do choose to speak. Why do we struggle with this? Why is silence so hard to embrace? It's partly because we've been conditioned to equate silence with inaction or compliance, to see it as a void rather than a space filled with potential. But it's also because staying silent when we're itching to respond requires discipline, a quality that Stoicism places in high regard. It's about recognizing that just because we can speak doesn't always mean we should, that our words have weight and we should wield them wisely. In our journey today, let's explore this further. Let's dive into why embracing silence, this Stoic principle of controlling our responses and recognizing our power, can actually lead to deeper connections, more meaningful interactions, and a stronger sense of self. Because in the end, the goal isn't to be the loudest in the room, but the one who speaks with purpose, who understands the value of words left unsaid, and who finds strength in the quiet spaces between. Number 2. Let's dive a bit deeper into this idea of silence, not just as a lack of noise, but as a space, a moment of choice, and a powerful tool in our arsenal for navigating life. The Stoics, with their profound understanding of human nature and the universe, really nailed it when they talked about the power of withholding reaction, of embracing that pause between stimulus and response. Seneca, another towering figure in Stoicism, once mused about how silence is a lesson learned from the wise, suggesting that there's a certain wisdom in choosing when to speak and when to let the silence speak for you. Imagine this. You're in the middle of a heated discussion and your first instinct is to jump in, to counter every point, to make sure your voice is heard. But what if, instead, you chose to pause, to let the other person finish, to take a moment and really absorb what's being said? This pause, this silence, isn't empty. It's full of purpose, reflection, and choice. It's you deciding to respond rather than react. This is where Stoicism comes into play, emphasizing the importance of that internal space, where we have the freedom to choose our response. It's about recognizing that our control lies within this space, that our power is not in the words we hurl back, but in the choice to maybe not say anything at all. But why is silence so powerful? Well, for starters, it gives us a chance to listen, truly listen. In the silence, we can hear not just the words of others, but the unspoken messages, the emotions, and the nuances that are often lost in the noise. By embracing silence, we allow these messages to surface, providing us with a deeper understanding of the situation and the people involved. It's like giving yourself a moment to step back, to see the bigger picture without getting lost in the heat of the moment. Silence also speaks volumes about our character. It shows restraint, respect, and patience, qualities that the Stoics held in high esteem. It's a sign of maturity, signaling that we value understanding over being understood and relationships over being right. This doesn't mean we never speak our minds or stand up for what we believe in. Rather, it means we do so with intention, choosing our moments and our words with care, guided by wisdom rather than impulse. Furthermore, in our personal quests for self-improvement and understanding, silence can be a powerful teacher. Stoicism teaches us the value of introspection, of looking inward to find peace and strength. In silence, away from the distractions of our external world, we can hear our own thoughts more clearly, confront our inner demons, and find clarity. It's in these quiet moments that we can reflect on our values, our goals, and the kind of person we want to be. Silence offers us a blank canvas, inviting us to paint a picture of our lives not with the words of others, but with our own thoughts, beliefs, and aspirations. So as we explore the concept of silence, let's think about how we can incorporate this Stoic principle into our daily lives. How can we use silence not as a weapon, but as a tool for understanding, a means to cultivate inner peace, and a way to strengthen our relationships with others and with ourselves? It's a journey, certainly, one that challenges us to rethink our instincts and our societal conditioning. But it's a journey worth taking, for in the quiet spaces we carve out in our lives, we might just find the keys to a deeper, more meaningful existence. Number 3. Diving into the benefits of silence, it's like uncovering a hidden treasure within us that we've often overlooked. The Stoics had this incredible insight into human behavior and the nature of the world, emphasizing that sometimes the most powerful action is inaction, especially when it comes to our words. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, famously said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This isn't just about the physical act of remaining silent. It's about the profound impact that choosing silence can have on our lives and the lives of those around us. First off, silence can be a catalyst for personal growth. In the quiet, when we're not preoccupied with formulating responses or drowning in others' opinions, we can hear our own voice more clearly. It's in these moments of stillness that we can truly reflect on our values, our decisions, and our paths in life. This kind of introspection is invaluable. It allows us to align our actions with our beliefs, fostering a sense of integrity and purpose. The Stoics believed in living a life in accordance with nature, including our own nature. Silence helps us to connect with that inner nature, to understand what truly matters to us, and to live more authentically. Moreover, silence enhances our relationships. It might seem counterintuitive, but by speaking less, we can actually improve our connections with others. When we embrace silence, we become better listeners, more attuned to the needs, feelings, and words of those around us. This attentiveness builds trust and respect. It shows that we value the other person's perspective and are truly engaged in the conversation. Stoicism teaches us the importance of empathy and understanding, reminding us that everyone we meet is fighting their own battle. Through silence, we offer space for others' voices to be heard, fostering deeper, more meaningful connections. Silence also grants us a form of power. In a world where everyone is rushing to speak, to assert their opinions, choosing silence can set us apart. It creates an air of mystery and intrigue, compelling others to lean in, to wonder what thoughts lie behind our quiet demeanor. This isn't about manipulation or power plays. Rather, it's about the strength that comes from restraint. The Stoics understood that true power lies not in external validation or dominance, but in self-mastery and control. By mastering the art of silence, we demonstrate that control, showing that we are not easily swayed by the tides of public opinion or the need for constant validation. Finally, silence is a sanctuary in times of turmoil. Life throws countless challenges our way, many of which stir up strong emotions and reactions. In these moments, silence can be our refuge. Instead of lashing out in anger or frustration, we can retreat into silence, allowing ourselves time to process, to cool down, and to approach the situation with a clearer head. The Stoics prized tranquility and equanimity, teaching that we should strive to maintain our inner peace regardless of external circumstances. Silence helps us to achieve this state, to remain composed in the face of adversity, and to respond to challenges with wisdom rather than impulse. In sum, the benefits of silence are manifold and profound. It's a tool for personal growth, a bridge to deeper relationships, a source of strength, and a haven of peace. As we walk this path of exploring and embracing silence, let's remember the Stoic teachings that guide us, to listen more than we speak, to reflect before we react, and to find in our quiet moments the wisdom and tranquility that lead to a fulfilling life. Number 4. All right, we've explored the why and the what of embracing silence, but let's get down to the brass tacks. How do we practically integrate this into our lives? This isn't about taking a vow of silence or stepping back from the world. Instead, it's about mindful moments of choice, where silence can be a powerful tool in our daily interactions and inner life. Drawing from Stoicism, we find a treasure trove of insights for making silence a practical part of our lives. The Stoics were all about practical wisdom, focusing on actions that align with our values and lead to a good life. First, start small and be intentional. You don't have to overhaul your communication style overnight. Begin by choosing moments in your day where you consciously decide not to speak immediately. Maybe it's pausing before responding in a conversation, giving yourself time to consider your words and the impact they'll have. This moment of pause is crucial. It's where you exercise your power to choose your response, reflecting the Stoic belief in controlling what's within our power, our reactions and responses. Next, practice active listening. This is more than just not speaking. It's about truly hearing what the other person is saying without formulating your reply while they speak. Listen with the intent to understand, not to respond. This aligns with the Stoic practice of empathy and understanding, acknowledging the complexity of human experiences and the value of gaining insight from others. Active listening not only enriches our interactions, but also fosters deeper connections and mutual respect. Incorporate moments of silence into your daily routine. This could be a quiet morning ritual, a few minutes of silent reflection before bed, or short breaks during the day where you step away from the noise and busyness. These moments are your opportunity to connect with yourself, to practice mindfulness, and to reflect on your actions and decisions. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, emphasized the importance of self-reflection in living a life aligned with virtue. Use these silent moments to consider how your actions align with your values and how you might live more authentically. Use silence as a tool for conflict resolution. When emotions run high, instead of contributing to the escalation, choose silence. This isn't about suppressing your feelings, but about giving yourself space to cool down and approach the situation more rationally. The Stoics taught us not to be swayed by our initial impulses, but to seek a response that brings peace and resolution. Silence can help de-escalate conflicts, providing a break for everyone involved to reflect and return to the discussion with a calmer mindset. Finally, embrace silence as a companion in your personal development journey. Reflect on your goals, your challenges, and your progress in silence. Consider journaling as a silent activity that complements your moments of reflection. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius all kept writings that reflected their thoughts and learnings. Use your silent time to journal about your experiences, insights, and how you're applying Stoic principles in your life. Integrating silence into our lives is a practice, one that requires intention, patience, and persistence. It's about finding balance, knowing when to speak your truth and when to let silence do the talking. As we navigate this practice, let's remember the Stoic ideals of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Let silence be your guide in living a life that embodies these virtues, a life that's thoughtful, balanced, and deeply connected to the world around you. So, let's take this step together, embracing the power of silence, not just as a concept, but as a living, breathing part of our daily existence. Number 5. We've journeyed through the quiet lands of silence together, exploring its depth and the strength it offers us. But this conversation isn't just about me sharing insights with you. It's about us learning from each other, growing together in our understanding and application of these ideas in our lives. So I want to turn the floor over to you, my friends, my fellow seekers of wisdom and personal growth. Think about a moment in your life when choosing silence turned out to be incredibly powerful. Maybe it was a time when you held back your words and listened, truly listened, and it changed the course of a conversation or even a relationship. Or perhaps it was a moment of internal silence where you found clarity or peace amidst the chaos of your thoughts. Share your stories in the comments below. Let's inspire each other with real-life examples of how silence can be a tool for understanding, connection, and transformation. And if you're pondering how to start weaving the threads of silence into the fabric of your everyday life, I'm curious to hear about that too. What challenges do you anticipate facing as you try to practice more intentional silence? How do you plan to overcome them? Your strategies, your questions, your apprehensions. Let's discuss them. Remember, Stoicism isn't just about learning and reflecting. It's deeply about living out those reflections in practical ways. Furthermore, if you've been experimenting with Stoic practices, how has silence played a part in your journey? Stoicism teaches us the value of focusing on what we can control, and often that means controlling our impulse to speak. How has this insight influenced your approach to conversations, conflicts, or even your internal dialogue? Let's also brainstorm together. If you were to create a daily practice focused on embracing silence, what would it look like? Would it involve silent meditation, journaling without the distraction of music or noise, or perhaps walks in nature, away from the hustle and bustle of daily life? How can we, as a community, support each other in these practices? This dialogue we're having, it's a testament to the power of sharing wisdom, of coming together to learn not just from the ancient Stoics, but from each other's experiences and insights. So, don't hold back. Dive into the comments, engage with one another, and let's build a community where the wisdom of silence is not just understood, but lived. As we wrap up this conversation, I want to leave you with a thought from Marcus Aurelius. Be silent for the most part, or, if you speak, say only what is necessary and in a few words. It's a reminder that our words have power, but so does our silence. It's about finding the balance, the right moment for each, and walking through life with the wisdom to know the difference. Thank you for being here, for engaging with these ideas, and for contributing to a discussion that goes beyond words. Let's keep this conversation going in the comments, in our lives, and in the silent moments that speak the loudest. Remember, the journey to wisdom is not a sprint. It's a marathon, one that we're running together, step by step, word by word, and sometimes, in the most powerful moments, in silence. As we bring our journey today to a close, remember, in the quiet moments of your life, you'll find truths that words cannot express. Silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a canvas where your inner wisdom paints its most vivid pictures, a sanctuary where your soul whispers the profound truths about who you are and what you're meant to be. Embrace these moments of silence, for they are the gateways to deeper understanding, not just of the world around you, but of the universe within you. Thank you for walking with me on this path of discovery. If this conversation has sparked something in you, if you're feeling that stir within, I invite you to explore more. On the screen, you'll find a playlist that delves deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism, into understanding ourselves and navigating the world with a serene heart and a clear mind. Click on it, continue this journey, and let's together uncover the profound beauty in the art of silence, in the power of our inner world, and in the strength that comes from knowing when to speak and when to simply listen. Thank you for being here, for sharing this space of reflection and growth. Until we meet again, may you find peace in the silence, strength in your words, and wisdom in the balance between the two.